Wise men say only fools rush in. Well, hello. We're going to have a chat about what happens when you take a big loss. And a warm welcome to one and all. And for those of you who have not seen me before, my name is Langers, and I am the overgrown child that is the Scruffy trader. No shop, but all the toys on my desk. Keeps me amused while I'm busy throughout the day. And what else keeps me amused? Coffee. That's right, we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. And he also likes coffee time with Scruffy. And that's what I do on a Saturday afternoon. Get myself a cup of coffee, go through what I've done for the past week, catch up on emails, that sort of thing, and have a little chat about some of the thoughts that's in my mind. Now this week, the thoughts has been about loss. How do you deal with it? You know, because the one thing in trading is everybody wants the magic pill. They don't want to lose. They just want the money. You know, show me the money. That's all I want. Give us the money. You ding dong! But they've got no concept of how they got the money in the first place. So what happens is, because the markets are incredibly cruel, you will lose your money.
Are you serious?
And I kind of touched on that in yesterday's video. No, I wasn't of sorts yesterday and the sound quality wasn't the best, but I hope I was getting kind of the message across. And it was really for one of the members in the Scruffy squad who had genuinely tried to help. And the idea of what I do is I do YouTube for fun, and the Scruffy squad is where you'll see the meat and bones of what I do. You know, I'll gloss it over on the YouTube videos, but I get right into it with those guys. And I also talk to them on a regular basis. And through the conversations this week, one of the members had his confidence knocked, shall we say. And it's something we all go through. So I thought I'd spend a bit of time on confidence and what happens when you do lose. Because every time I switch on my videos, I get some bozo saying they're making 40 grand a month, or you're going to be a millionaire in 2 years. But they never talk about the other side of trading. They never tell you about margin. So I'm doing a challenge at the moment to prove what they say is wrong. You can build a pot, but it takes time. So I'm showing you how to do that. They never talk about the psychological effects that trading can have on you, which is kind of what we're discussing today. And they never really tell you how to do it at all. You know, it's all very glossy. It's all rolled back. I never roll back anything. What you see is in the moment. I've got no idea how that trade's going to play out. I just switch the camera on and I let it run. Now I'll show you some figures in a moment and you'll see why. Because I get pulled up all the time. Nobody has a hit rate like that. You only ever cherry pick. I don't. I just happen to have a very high hit rate. And the reason being is because I'm methodical and I think it out. And when I jump on the whiteboard, you'll see it because it's an echo from what I did yesterday. There's 5 parts to trading. And there's actually a hidden part, which we can call 6th. So the number 6 will be the 6th sense. And I'll explain that in just a second. But before I jump on the whiteboard, I want to show you these figures. Why? Just transparency. It's just one of my accounts. I trade multiple accounts. And what I'm going to show you is a small 5% a prop fund account. I trade a number of accounts for a prop fund as well. Why? Because if you go through my videos, you'll see that I successfully passed one of their bigger pots. I also do training for these guys, and they wanted me to put a few tests out and then grow a pot for them as well. So that's what this is. It's starting at 20,000. When it's complete, it'll be 80,000, sort of within the next 2 months. Then after that, it'll be 160,000, and then 320,000. You know, because they're putting their faith in me, because I proved what I could do. And I've shown you guys, I've shown statements and all sorts. And if you don't like it, well, sod off. I'm not really bothered. I do this for enjoyment. And if you get something out of it, amazing. Because that is also something that I want. I don't want to teach you anything because I'm not an educator. I want to inspire you and show you that it can be done with a bit of thought. But thought is what you have to think about. And I'll touch on that in just a second. Alright? Because trading is no easy path. And if you're coming into it thinking you're going to be rich, and it's just a couple of clicks of the button, you're wasting your time. You genuinely are wasting your time. Because it's a professional job, professional career, and nobody, and I mean nobody, will be able to give you a secret in a couple of minutes. It takes time, and you build up your skill set. I've spent a fortune on my education, and I mean a fortune. And did it teach me overnight? No. Experience taught me. So let me jump onto the screen. I'll show you a couple of figures. Then I'll jump on the whiteboard and I'll go through the 5 principal points of a trade, and then the 6 cents. And it'll make sense in just a second.
Well, we're waiting.
Okay guys, so I'm going to fire up my screens and I'll show you a couple of figures. And, well, I'll show you. This is a prop fund, okay? Third party, can't be manipulated. But within it, it is going to illustrate what I'm about to talk about. You can be the best trader in the world and still take a colossal punch in the nose. Now, I believe in wide stops. And I've told you guys before, I'm prepared to take some heat, but when I'm caught good and proper. It's the nature of the way I do things. But I maintain my hit rate and I maintain the strategy that I'm doing. This particular pot is being built with what's called the river, the whip, and an extended golden eye. All right, it's three strategies that I'm using within this. And they are all multi-day strategies. It's not day trading. This is over a period of time. And by the nature of a swing trade, because you're looking at your ATR for your stops, etc., they're always going to be pretty excessive. And I got caught when New Zealand decided to lock the country down within 24-hour notice. They just said, right, that's it. It's getting locked down. I was in the New Zealand USD trade and a couple of others, and I got lacerated, literally, because the markets collapsed. It was a black swan event. All right. But what happened? I was doing very well, got caught in the black swan, knocked the living crap out of me, literally, and it hurt. It really hurt. But it didn't kill the account. And that's the main thing. And the damage to the account was, if I just pull this up, I took a hit of 296 divided by 20 odd thousand, which was only about 1.4% of the account. Simple stuff. So it sounded terrible, but it weren't, you know, 'cause there we are. There it is. There's your figure. So it's like, well, times that by 100. There you are. 1.4 of the account was wiped out within, it was over the course of a couple of days, but it was just, all right. So it looks scary, but it's not, because my risk tolerance was in check. My win rate is still in check. You know, even taking punch after punch after punch. And it was a multiple trades got absolutely punched to the ground. I still hold an 80% hit rate. And I hold a 1.4, well, it's nearly 1.5 profit ratio. Okay, as long as it's over 1, it means I'm in profit. And I've stuck with the same strategies, and now I've paid off the losses, all of them, and I'm in profit to the tune of 281. So you win and lose all the time, as you can see with this little jagged line moving up. See, it goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. So you've always got little losses. But when you get hit with a big one, that's when you need to sit back and reset. But when you reset, you don't go into the Terror Treadmill. And that's what I'm going to talk about right now.
Out of the frying pan.
And into the fire.
Okay guys, so I'm going to have a quick chat about the 5 points of opening a trade and your 6th sense. And if you put them together, hopefully you'll avoid what I call the Terror Treadmill. And I'll show you what that is as well. So what are the 5 points of trading? Well, they're very, very simple. Okay, it's prep, bias, the entry, the management, and the exit. But you'll also see that I've put my favourite quote up there. Know thyself, it is the beginning of wisdom. Now, we touched on this yesterday. And why do you think that I like that quote? Well, it's very simple. Trading is very individual. And unless you know your own personality, your strengths, your weaknesses, you'll never build a strategy to suit yourself. You see, all strategies work. And over the course of the next few weeks, we're going to put it to the test. Because you guys can tell me what to trade. And if you like, you can even tell me the market to trade. And I'll still trade it. Because I've done that in the past, where I've asked the Scruffy squad, I've said, right, you pick a market and you pick the direction. Fire the screen up and I trade it. Because you can always find a trade if you have self-discipline. And you only have self-discipline if know thyself. Simple stuff. All right. Just my philosophy on life and the way that I've run businesses, well over 20 years now. So, what are the disciplines? Prep. What's your prep? Read the news. Understand what's happening in the day. Prepare your charts before you're going into market. So, you need to know what strong news events is coming. So, read your economic calendar. Put in your levels. All right. Know what time you're going to trade. So time. Time is a good one. All right. And when you figured that out, you'll know if you can only trade sort of on an afternoon, your pound USD, you're fine. If you can only trade after midnight, then maybe you're prepping Asian charts. I'm talking my time frames here, guys, if you're overseas, and I'm based in the UK. So the Asian session for me is through the night. Right? So you've got to be looking at Asian markets. Right? So that's a quick watered version. Then you need a bias. Well, what's a bias? Well, is the market going down or is the market going up? Very simple. How do you work that out? Well, that comes from your prep. Because while you're marking the charts out, you should be able to see where it's going. Very, very simple. Then you need a reason to get into the market in the first place. How it went to the market. Now, it could be anything. It could be a moving average cross, overbought, oversold position on an oscillator, an ADX, could be engulfing, could be anything. But you need a reason why to get in. Very simple. Then you need to manage that trade. And the management is kind of my strength, if you like, because you can get into a trade on the flick of a coin. You genuinely can, right? But it's how you manage it thereafter. So you need to know what the pain threshold is of that trade. So where you're going to make decisions to either add into it or bring some of it off the table, whether that's profit or reducing a risk. All of this sort of stuff, you know, you've got to be able to manage the trade. And this is talking swing trades as well, because you might want to move your stop up and lock in profit. You may see that it's moved quite aggressively away, it's pulled back quite shallow, so you believe there's another leg coming, so you're going to add into it. Plenty of different things to manage in your trade. And then there's the hard part, when to get out. Now for me, I'm a target trader. I set targets. Once I've hit that target, that's me done. You know, don't try and be a hero. And when I'm day trading especially, I get in, I get out, and I'm happy. That's it. When I'm swing trading, I'm kind of trying to keep the price, or the stop rather, hidden behind moving averages or structure points. My favourite way is with levels. So once it's broke a level and it's gone up to the level above, I'll move the stop up. Let it carry on, move the stop up. But I also put targets in as well, because the trick is to get out of it as much as you can. You don't want to give it back. So that's the principles of a trade. 5. Now I said there's 6. And the 6th one is the 6th sense. And no, you're not seeing dead people, but you can see dead trades.
It's a tiny piece of paper. Okay, that's all it is. Tiny piece of paper.
And what is that? What is the 6th one? Well, the 6th one, tell you what, we'll wipe all of this down, get rid of that, because I was just doing a recap of yesterday. What is 6? It's actually your mindset, which ties directly to that quote. You need to have a good mindset when you're trading. Flat. You don't want to be angry. If you're angry going into the market, you'll lash at it. And trust me, the market will always be bigger and better than you. No matter how good you think you are, the market is always better. And this is the old saying, the market will be erratic longer than you'll be solvent. And that is so true. And if you're going into the market with the wrong mindset, you're going to fail, because you'll descend into gambling. Or not plan it at all. And then you fall into chaos.
What are you, some kind of nut? Who do you think you are? Dun, dun, dun! I am Captain Chaos.
Because it's just, I can't do this. This is crap. This doesn't work. Oh, I'll try something else. And then you're like a bloody dog chasing a car. You know, you just chase all over the place. And then you fall into, well, the Terror Treadmill. The Terror Treadmill is quite simply this. You have yourself, Mr. Trader. And you're happy now because you've decided that you're going to be a trader. You've seen the videos, you know, I'm going to show you a lifestyle, very animatic, and you can make 500 quid a day. You can. It doesn't tell you what the margin is. You've seen the, I've got the super sunglasses on and I took 65 quid into 2 million in 2 years while I'm pouncing around in me rented Airbnb. Yeah. So you're excited. So you go to market. You don't know what you're doing. You know, all you know is that you're going to be rich. You're ordering your car. So what do? You take a punt. And that punt is normally from the easiest system going, which is a moving average cross. moving average cross, because everybody tells you the moving average cross is the one. But moving averages are there to help you read a market. You know, that's their job. They are incredibly lagging, so they're very difficult to time, all right, unless you know what you're looking for. So to blindly think you can just go, well, it's a 5 cross 100 and in we go, try it. Because I'll guarantee when you try that on a 5-minute chart, it'll give you some money, but it won't have to take it off you very quick. Put it on a daily chart, you'll get about 30 pips out of it pretty safely, you know, but you've got to wait for it. You know, it's kind of why the golden cross works. And that's some of the things you need to figure out. Because at the beginning of this little chat, I said one of the preparations is time. But time is also the chart. What chart are you going to trade? Are you going to trade a 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, an hourly chart, daily chart? You need to know what strategy works and what time frame. And moving averages, the further you go down into the time frames, become an utter nightmare. They genuinely do. But on a high time frame, they're pretty good. So you've got to know, all right? But what happens is you try it, and then you lose. So you're down here now, and you're not very happy. He's an unhappy trader. But he's seen a new shiny toy, and he thinks, yes, this is the one. I'm now going to be Billy Big Bollocks.
Big ball energy. I got that big ball energy.
Right? And I'm a happy trader. But why am I Billy Big Bollocks? Because you have got no concept what you're doing, you're still angry at the charts, and you want your money back. So you put a bigger position on to claw back the loss that you just had with your new strategy. Because the new one, which everyone tells you is going to be brilliant, because it's the ADX, and the ADX we all know tells you when a trend is actually firing up. So you now want an ADX. And you think, brilliant, I've made a win. And you do it again, but you lose. So you're now down here. And you're a sad trader again. But now, you've lost half of your money. Because as you've tried to accelerate your growth without knowing what you're doing, you've dented yourself even more. But then you see another advert. And this is the one. This has to work. Why? Well, you had a green Lamborghini.
You ding dong!
So it must be right. This is the one. Fantastic. But what happens? You're happy because it worked. You think amazing. But then what happens? It doesn't work. Because you lost. So you're now an unhappy trader. So you go back to where you started because you've blown your account and you try to do the whole thing again. And what happens is you're going from system to system to system to system and back. So full account, quarter of account, half account, down to a quarter of account, lost the bloody lot, start again. It's the treadmill of terror, or Terror Treadmill. You're just going round circles, time and time again. And you're jumping from one strategy to the next. And one of the reasons why I showed you that set of figures of mine on that account is I haven't changed my strategy. It's still the same. Moral of the story is you are going to lose. And you're going to lose and it's going to hurt. And that hurt will make you angry.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
But don't lash at the market. Sit back. Have a coffee. Maybe take a day off. Or even a week. Just take a week off. Don't look at the screens. Think about what you're doing. And then go back to it with a fresh pair of eyes, a better mindset, and do it again. But with one strategy. One that you know. The strategies I use are very simple. I use GoldenEye every day for my day trading bread and butter. You see me do it time and time again. It's consistent and it's inflation proof. That's why I use it. I use a river, a whip and an extended GoldenEye for swing trading. And what they are is, it depends on how long I'm looking for it to hold. You know, the whip is very long term. You know, I can put a position in February, it mightn't come out till October. You know, it takes ages. Extended GoldenEye is just an extension of what I do on a day trade. If I can see the conditions are correct, I will put that in. And then my bread and butter is the river. It's a very systematic, simple thing. Put my orders in and I monitor them on a daily basis. But they are simple. And they're all simple strategies. Because what makes or breaks a trader is not the system. It is the trader. Too big a size on the account. Over trading is a big one. And gambling. Simple as that. You know. And I guess what pulls it all together is the fact that because you're not stable enough to see what's going on, you're constantly looking for a shiny new toy. And you believe it's the magic pill. It's probably the industry's fault. Because the industry does portray it that way. And every time I see an advert, it's always colossal amounts of money they're talking about. But it's all well and good saying it. Got to show it, you know. And that's kind of why I do what I do. I just show what I do. Am I a millionaire? No. Have I walked those shoes? Yes, I have. You know, is it all it's cracked up to be? Not really. Incredibly stressful. Everybody you speak to, it's not really genuine. You know, they just want something from you. And it's quite a lonely life. I'm happier now doing what I'm doing than I was a long time ago. But do I make a wage? Yeah, I do. Do I make a good wage? Make a very good wage. You know, it's on par with a normal professional, but it's not millionaire wages. You know, so that's the difference. And ultimately I do this because I enjoy it. That's it. So I hope that kind of triggers something in your mind. I genuinely do. If you're stuck, I'm easy found. Just look in the description below, you'll find contact details. And if you are wanting to sort of spread your wings a little bit, check out the two, well, there's three brokers there. There's IG, the one that I use myself. It's expensive, but I like the charts, that's why I use it. You've got Black Bull, which has excellent leverage at the time of this video, and they'll sort of trade any markets that you want, nice and simple, on an MT4 or MT5 platform. And then you've also got the 5%ers, where you can buy into the market with a large real-time pot and you'll get a profit split. So not only are you getting the education and the practice, you're getting paid for it as well. So that's all down in the description, and you'll get 5% off the 5%ers and free education from the other two. So good stuff. So there you go, guys. I'll welcome your comments. Please like the video, that sort of thing. It does help the YouTube channel and all that sort of stuff. And as always, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.